Hello survivors, and welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to be playing the Legionnaire with his new weapon Jupiter's Reach that gives us Jupiter's Spear as well as the soldiers. I can't remember their name, we'll check them out when we are in game. Anyway, Jupiter's Spear, we strike enemies in front of you, dealing 50 damage and creating a maximum of 4 lightning bolts that jump to 3 additional targets, dealing 130 damage and applying Dazed. So Dazed increases the chance to receive critical strikes for 4%, by 4% for 8 seconds. Runes, we've got Dash Mastery, Executioner, Generalist, Sure-Footed, and Weapon Expert. Now what I'm going to try while we are doing this run is actually speak about exactly why I pick these options, why I'm picking the certain skills I am, and why I will be picking up the upgrades for those skills as well, and certain upgrade choices. The second skill is Summon Infantry, which also cause Dazed, but they only last for 20 seconds and there is a 40-second cooldown. So we do want to try and get to like a 21-second cooldown on it, so that they're up for the most amount of time, and that once they die we can spawn them again. The other option is to get below 20 seconds, but then we kind of waste a couple of seconds where we respawn them, and then it doesn't distract the bosses. But very, very strong skills. We will be looking at only skills that you can get on the Legionnaire, of course. That's why we run the runes we do. We will go Chromatic Bolt, obviously, for Generalist, because it gives us a 40% increase in damage just for that skill alone. Alright, so let's go get this. Let's see. So first things first, I always banish Leviathan. It is the most useless skill or passive that you can get when you are playing on high curse levels. If you're trying to speedrun, then you can take it, but for curse levels it is useless and will get you killed. So we're going to start off with Doom, and then we are not going to take any of these over here. So we are going to take Thunderstruck. As you can see, it deals 1755 damage, and it also inflicts stun and dazed. It did get a buff recently, well, in the new holiday patch it did receive a huge buff. We're not going to keep it though, because later on in the game it's just we've already got 2 skills that daze, and we will need skills that do other things. So you know, we're not going to keep it, it's not going to be necessary, but for the early game, it is very, very strong. Alright, so we've got ourselves multicast for Jupiter's. So multicast is going to be much better, because this is going to be our main damage skill. These are just there to distract the bosses. Alright, I don't really want to invest in Thunderstruck, but we will go for Area of Effect. Now we have a standstill here. We want both of these. We're going to focus on Chromatic Bolt in the beginning because of Generalist, so we're getting that a lot of damage there. Health for the units. Area of Effect is a no-brainer. And then we don't want any of these skills, so we re-roll. Again, none of these. Alright, so we found Bomb Barrage. Again, we're going to grab that. We're going to grab the health in the beginning and some cast frequency for our Jupiter's Spear. Again, that is going to be one of our main skills that we are prioritizing because of the dazed as well as the damage it just does. Alright, obviously the more area of effect you have on it as well, the further the reach of the weapon will be. So if you get the option to get more, then that's fantastic. Now a couple of options here. I could re-roll, but what I am going to do is we're actually going to grab Avalanche. Avalanche is just fantastic, and we're going to try and get ourselves Hypothermia while we have it. It also increases the damage of our Bomb Barrage and obviously the Avalanche because it's a bomb skill. However, do you know what? Yeah, we'll go that way. All 3 of those options were really good. You could have taken the damage for the infantry as well. It would have worked just as well. If you don't have Avalanche unlocked, guys, it is one of the holiday special skills. So you only have a couple more days to unlock it before it gets put behind a difficult play wall that we don't know about yet. So it is currently a holiday skill that you can unlock. It will be unlockable at a later stage as well if you miss the event. However, it is said to be harder to unlock. We don't know the details though. Alright, so we are going to grab ourselves more area of effect here. And we are going to swap out Thunderstrike for Bloodlust. Area of effect there. We want the fragility, so we are going to grab fragility. Should I banish the block? Okay, do you know what? We're not using Avalanche necessarily for the damage, so we're going to grab the fragility. Alright, and that's what it is. So now we can focus on crit over here. We always want to grab as much crit as possible when possible. Obviously, even though we have dazed, it only lasts for a certain amount of time, and it also isn't 100% just yet. So we do want to grab as much crit early as possible, and we want that fragility for our snowballs. Hopefully we can get our hypothermia. If we get hypothermia, then we will focus on stacking the slow as opposed to stacking the fragility, because obviously the more slow you have, the more fragility you have, and it's pretty much like a 50% chance instead of a 10% chance. So much higher chance to hit that fragility cap when using hypothermia as opposed to using normal frailty. Alright, so we've got a lot of utility on us, so we don't actually need the damage for Bomb Barrage like that. We're not going to grab damage. We'll grab cast frequencies, and we've got a good amount of level ups. So we're going to go for area of effect here. Cast frequency on Bloodlust is very important. We're going to grab health because, you know, we don't want to get one shot here. Grab frailty. Over here we can go for the crit. Over here, I mean, the options are terrible, so cast frequency. Cast frequency, definitely. Frailty. We're going to grab another slow, just for that chance of hypothermia. And over here, we're actually going to take the reduce all damage. Now, the reason we do that is so that the bombers that accidentally, well, that purposefully hit us, won't do so much damage. It also helps us if we run through like the puddles of poison and things like that. We don't have to worry about taking too much damage. So we do have sure-footed as well for the 15% damage reduction there as well. So really good for us for survivability. Alright, so now we do want to get rid of these towers as soon as possible while we have a free space to breathe because there's no bosses. And then we just go about getting as many level ups as possible. We're going to kill the duty over here. I don't know which one this is. It looks like the Arcane Weaver. Well, actually not the Weaver, but the Slinger. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. They dead. Void Hunter out of the way. Okay, we're going to go again. We don't really need the damage for Avalanche. We're using it as a utility spell. So we're going to go frailty. We are going to go for cast frequency on everything. 10% on everything is better than the 20% for just one. Alright, so there we go. Its cooldown is on 16 seconds now. Multicast again, Jupiter's Reach. Area of effect for Bomb Barrage, very good. Damage for Jupiter's Spear. I think I said Jupiter's Reach earlier. And then we're gonna go for the, again, damage. Do you know what? In this case, we'll take the damage because it's rare, and the other two power-ups are common and not necessarily very good. So we will take the damage that time. Again, we're using it as a utility, so you don't have to grab the damage anytime whatsoever. Same with Bomb Barrage, and even the same with Chromatic Bolt. Chromatic Bolt we're literally just using for the Generalist as well as Executioner upgrades. So we don't want to grab them, damage for them, only cast frequency and area of effects. So let's keep going. Next tower. The Pillar of Despair. And now we need to try and get close enough to the bosses so that our snowballs can hit and our bomb barrage, but also a safe enough direction, I guess you could say, so that we don't get hit by any of their skills. Obviously, the more life we have going further into the run is better for us because we do have reduced healing in Curse 7. So we actually got 2 Alexis, which is very good for us because Alexis is probably one of the weakest bosses and probably one of the easiest ones to deal with as well. We also have about 20 seconds of free time to deal damage because we do have our warriors, this infantry that are, you know, distracting everything. So one of the best reasons to go for summons is because of the distract factor that they have. So we actually have level ups over here. We're going to go for the damage increase, obviously. We're going to go for damage increase over here again because it's going to increase the damage of Bloodlust. So as you can see, we're on 20% and 40%. That went up to 26 and 52. Alright, so damage, area of effect, duration is perfect, and cast frequency. So close to being up all the time. Once it's up all the time, that's actually fantastic for us because it's going to give us perfect, not perfect anything, it's going to give us a lot of cast frequency. So you do want to try and get your Bloodlust up permanently just for that movement speed and the cast frequency that it provides. So 1 Alexis down, the other one should be dead, there we go. And now we just need to worry about, well, firstly getting out of that horrible situation there. Also finding our cursor again. And there we go, 1 dead. And Incarnation dead. I mean fire, dude. Incarnation of fire. Alright, we have 6 more level ups. I'm just going to go destroy these towers while I've got them on my mind first, and then we'll do the level ups and see what wonderful upgrades we can grab. Alright, so we again don't want damage, so in this case we're going to go for movement speed. Over here we're going to go for 15% increased damage for everything. So it will actually give us damage on this, and this, even though we don't need it on these 2, it's still going to give it. But it's very, very good because it's damage for everything. Over here, we're going to increase the life. It will increase the life of our summoned infantry as well, which is really good. We're going to go for a damage increase. Damage increase there. Again, we don't really need it, but it's there. Even that, the damage increase for the chromatic bolt. Although I say we're using it as utility, obviously having the damage increase on the chromatic bolt means that the negative effects that it's going to be applying will deal more damage. Because chaos skills, the damage it deals, the negative effects deal, are based on the damage of the skill that caused the negative effects. So you do kind of want a bit of damage there. It doesn't work that way with like weakness and fragility, obviously, because they don't deal damage. They just make us deal more damage. So that's why we don't have to worry about the damage of snowball or of bomb barrage, because paralysis as well as weakness and fragility all just flat damage amounts. They don't get increased by your damage of the skill. Very good, very nice for us. Makes things easier. Dodge all of the Chaos Bringer's skills there. Dodge into a fire skill there, because why not, although we didn't take damage from it. We did take a little bit of damage over there, that's okay though. Need to get a bit closer if we can. We are unfortunately not in a very great spot right here. Okay, there we go. We did actually kill 2 of them. I think we're killing a lot of the minions around us as well. So therefore we have actually summoned the next set of bosses already before even killing all of the other ones. Not that that's a problem. Let's just quickly level up. Alright, damage for the summons. We can go more crit. Fragility. In this case, we'll just take the damage reduction. And area of effect, that's fantastic. Every single spell we're using is physical. So that just means we have more area of effect for absolutely everything, which is very, very good. We've got a little spinning boy over here. A spinning top. Looks like he wants to die. We will grant him that wish. Alright, we actually have 2 Arse incarnations, which isn't good. They have a whack ton of AoE, and they put down all of these like Arse crystals over here, which cause a lot of problems for us later on in the... You know, they just make it harder to step around because they can spawn a lot of projectiles. Ow, that hit us really hard. Not cool. If you have a lot of movement speed, it actually makes it so you don't have to dodge that much. You would have to dodge like the big explosions and that, but if you have enough movement speed, you can actually just run around in a circle. You'll have to dodge like the Fallen Knight's spin, or you would have to dodge if you start walking into an AoE, then you dodge away from it, but otherwise you normally just run around and you stay in the clear. We don't need bleed to poison, guys. I know in other videos a lot of people have been saying, well, why do I skip these? Well, the thing is, we're not really running a lot of poison, we're not really running a lot of bleed, so I don't need this. I do know that we can get the after Poisonous Blood, you can get Poison to Doom. That would be very, very good, but the only one we would really go for would be Doom to Dazed, which we don't need because we have so much Dazed anyway. So the only one that we're looking for is Hypothermia. All of the others for this specific build do not give us any benefits. I mean, they benefit Executioner in a way, but we don't have a steady supply of poison to warrant getting it or even bleed. So it's all our Chromatic Bolt damage, or the negative effects that Chromatic Bolt would be causing, and in terms of what it's going to do for us, it's not much, so we don't really need it. There is so much on the floor, we really need to deal with these Arse incarnations now. And we are in a very, very bad spot right now, as you can see. So grab that quickly, give us a little bit of more breathing space. Let's deal with as much damage as we can to these guys. The one Arse incarnation is nearly dead, the other one was dead. But, that prophetess. Just whacked us and murdered us. Alright, let's see what we got. Cast frequency is always good. Potency is great. And area of effect of the Snowflake. What I'm going to do actually, I'm going to turn down the graphics a bit because it is causing me some hassles, and just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't really help anyway because it still shows the clunks of us, if that makes sense. So they still are in the way. We didn't get Hypothermia, which is quite upsetting. We would have been doing a lot more damage if we did. but it is what it is. You can't always get everything you want in the run. But just know, as soon as I see hypothermia, it will be a priority over everything. And I mean everything. The benefits that hypothermia will provide you with outweigh any skill that you possibly get. Any skill upgrade, anything, hypothermia beats it all. So just keep that in mind. Alright, we have... Oh, that's bad. Okay, good. We lived. Alright, with Chaosbringer dead, we can actually get quite close to the other bosses. We do have Prophetess though, but she's okay as well. At least her AoE is kind of got a long wind-up time, so we don't have to worry about it hitting us, except for when she does that. This was actually the last 4 bosses, and I didn't even realize that, so it went really smoothly. Prophetess is actually dead. Let's just deal with this dude. Eternal Guardian should die now. There we go. And there it is. Surprisingly, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually my very first win on the Legionnaire in Curse 7. So, Jupiter Spear, 61 million damage. That is insane. As you can see, Avalanche actually did more damage than Chromatic Bolt. Again, we were not focusing on anything besides for the damage for Jupiter Spear. Everything else is a utility here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that I explained everything correctly. If I never, please leave a comment down below, or leave a comment down below anyway. Remember to like the video and subscribe as well. And I hope you all keep safe, and always remember to, just watch all the videos. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.